Welcome back and thanks for watching the Cypress Sports Show brought to you by Coach's Corner, your go-to spot before and after the game. I am Jeff Russell here with Mark Slevcove. Today, we welcome assistant football coach Jeff Crooks back to the program. Coach Crooks, always a fun interview. We are going to get an update and check in with Sean Pfeiffer in our segment, Would You Rather? I hear people are enjoying the Would You Rather with Mr. Pfeiffer.
Well, you know, 5'4" brings the energy. So whether they understand what he's saying or not, he's bringing the energy.
He totally does. He's going to be looking right at you when he gets that info coming this time. I can guarantee it. Anyways, Coach, we got a lot of stuff going on this week with sports. Football back on the winning track. Their first home game. I know we got some tough competition coming up. Homecoming, 50th anniversary. A lot of things going on. What do we have for this week's update?
That's right. The football team defeated El Medina last week, 31-14 on Thursday night. Great student body, by the way. It wasn't an overall big crowd, but the student body, they went up a long ways. They had fun, and they were excited to be there, and the boys played great. Just a couple big plays for El Medina versus our defense, and then we controlled pretty much the rest of the game throughout the night. Michael Hubbard had a nice TD reception in the corner. Rocco Burdette put the nail in the coffin with the 40-yard scrum-like TD run, breaking through everybody during the fourth quarter. We did have some injuries, though, so we'll hear about that with Coach Crooks, like Destin Sanchez, broken collarbone, but hope we can recover this week versus Lawndale Friday night. Girls flag football team returned to action yesterday versus Western in a home game. Next week, they'll take on future conference opponents in Esperanza on Tuesday and El Dorado on Thursday. Our girls volleyball team returned home from Hawaii after going 3-5 in the tournament. The girls had a safe and memorable experience. Everyone that went all came back, and as Coach Tweet says, that is priority number one. Nobody got lost. And they returned to the court Wednesday versus Sunny Hills.
You know, getting left in Hawaii wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, though.
That's true. That's true. But they had a great time. They toured University of Hawaii. They went to the beach, so they had an enjoyable experience. Boys water polo team traveled to Buena Park on Wednesday for their second game of the season. We'll have the result of that next week. Our girls tennis team is off to a 5-1 start with wins over Western and Oxford last week. Their lone defeat so far is to top-rated Sage Hill in a close one, 10-8. Our girls golf team takes on Upland in their final non-league match Wednesday before opening league play on Thursday versus Crean Lutheran. Cross country has their last final few practices before opening up their season this Saturday night in the Rosemead Invitational.
We got a lot going on. Again, homecoming coming up, 50th anniversary. Thinking back to that, too, you said Esperanza and El Dorado.
Former Empire League teams as well, coming full circle.
Long time ago, and we are coming back. Crazy. But we got all that stuff coming in the next week or so. So, with that, we do have time to check in. So we're going to check in with 5'4", Mr. Pfeiffer, for our Subs and Grubs segment. Would you rather? Sean, what is the topic this week, pal?
Listen, I got a little on-camera critique, so I'm trying to face the camera, and there it is. Hey, it was a lot of fun this week. We asked our interviewees, would you rather spend an evening dinner with your favorite athlete, dead or alive? What's your favorite athlete, Coach Russell?
Favorite athlete, dead or alive?
Fancy dinner?
Where am I going to dinner?
Anywhere.
Anywhere I want. I'm going to go steak dinner and favorite athlete. I think I'm going to go with somebody kind of that I think would be fun to talk to as well. A little controversial right now, but I want to hear all the sides. I would go Phil Mickelson. I think he'd be fun to go to dinner with.
Interesting. How about you, Slevy?
Well, the first person that comes to my mind isn't an athlete, it was a coach, Coach Wooden from UCLA, Lore, and I actually got to spend a breakfast with them, so that was pretty cool. Thanks to Coach Russell and some others. We did that years ago when he was alive. Then as a child, I go back maybe Magic Johnson.
Of course.
But as an adult, probably not going to go with Magic Johnson. Maybe I'll find someone else. Maybe I'll go with, let's see. Maybe it would have been Kobe Bryant.
Kobe, one of the greats, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, we got some great answers. They had to choose, would you rather have that dinner with that favorite athlete, or would you rather have VIP treatment on the airplane with the team, season passes, front row for every game? And some of the answers were pretty cool. One kid surprised me. Let's see if you can tell who it was. This is what we found out. All right, Cypress, we're here after a fantastic victory last night against El Medina with Coach Feldy. We're here with Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Jaron, Dr. Freed, and our glorious principal, Ms. Brown, Rocco Burdett, and Aiden Houston. Magnificent Doherty, dynamic duo, Pfeiffer and Allen here to represent Varsity Cheer. Would you rather spend an evening, fancy dinner, wonderful food, great company with your favorite sports star, or would you rather have season passes VIP front row?
Favorite team, the Angels. I mean, I know I'm kind of embarrassed to announce it right now. I mean, they're terrible. The Angels are my favorite team of all time.
I would go with Nolan Ryan.
Really?
Yes.
That one evening with
That
Nolan
one
Ryan.
evening, because I don't have a lot of free time. Ryan Cummings.
Oh, Ryan Cummings.
Yeah.
We all know Ryan Cummings. Who's that?
She's a cheerleader.
Famous cheerleader.
Famous cheerleader.
Like the best.
She's the best of the best.
She's
That's
the
the
best.
best.
Did you ever see him play?
Yes, I did. I actually got his autograph too.
Wow.
Yeah.
You still have it?
Yes, I do.
I don't know if I have a favorite team that I root for, but my favorite team to watch, I think, is the Kansas City Chiefs. VIP.
VIP front row?
VIP
The
front
whole
row,
season
the whole
long.
season.
Travel with them?
As much as I would love to go on a trip with the Angels, I would definitely go with Emmett Smith because I don't have time to be away from my family and my new grandchildren. So
I've met some famous people. That's kind of a neat deal. I've had access to what you're talking about like once in my life, and be able to do that on a weekly basis.
Emmett Smith was such an inspiration to me in the way he treats people and the way he does things, and he just gave back over and over and over again and gave us all on the field. I loved watching him play.
I might have to say, I want to have a dinner with Muhammad Ali.
So what's that dinner look like? What are you guys doing? Just chatting it up?
Yeah.
Or are you staring at your phones all the time? Muhammad Ali, what's that dinner conversation like? What are you asking him?
Just the experience, like, of him being the greatest of all time.
The greatest of all time?
What does it take to be the greatest of all time?
I'm gonna make her follow me back on Instagram.
Oh, that's nice. You're going to force her to follow you back. How about you, Piper? What are we looking at?
I would also pick Ryan Cummings, and I would pick VIP every competition because then, like, I also get to travel for free.
Oh, that's pretty smart, right?
I do that,
A
and
little
then
free travel?
I get to see her all the time, and then we'll get lunch after, so we'll be so close like that after.
Because of your magnetic personality, you're going to
Yeah.
become besties.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'll go with Kobe Bryant. I would have a dinner with Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant.
Kobe, right? What's that conversation like? What are you guys talking about?
About religion, about faith, how he just put everything in. Every single game he put everything in. I love it.
Building from the outside and in. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, 5-4, bringing it out, getting after it. I love it. Coach, I know he asked us the favorite athlete, but I think I would take the season tickets right now over the athlete. I've met some people. Season tickets. What about you? One dinner with someone, season tickets?
Yeah, I think I go the one night. I think that's probably memorable and a night you never forget.
But we've already had that with Coach Woodman. What about you, Coach? We go favorite athlete, dinner, dead or alive athlete, one dinner only, or your favorite team, full VIP, front row or on the field. It wouldn't be Cypress football because you'd be on the field.
Yep.
But on the field,
On the
just
field.
loving it, have all you can eat everything all season long.
I would have to go just a dinner.
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 Yeah.
Who's your guy,
That's
Chris?
someone we were talking about.
Peyton Manning.
That would be a fun one. I said
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson. I think he would be a fun one as well. Peyton Manning would be
Peyton
a fun
Manning. I
one.
think it'd be
Peyton and Phil
a
would be pretty
hilarious
fun
dinner.
together.
Yeah.
They would be
That'd
pretty
be a hilarious
good
dinner.
together. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Coach, thanks for being here. Appreciate you being
Thanks for
back
having
on
me.
the program. Well, let's jump right into it, Coach. We're 3 games into the season, 2-1 right now. Has anything changed with our expectations coming into the season? We know we always have things like injuries through a season and things like that change the course of what we maybe expect the season to be. But has anything else kind of changed?
Nothing's changed. We just know it's going to be a tough non-league for us. This is probably the toughest non-league we've had, and I think probably early 90s or something went back then, because now we have, we got Lawndale coming up and Tesoro, but then to start off the season with La Mirada, CDM, and then El Medina back to back, our injuries have piled up. It's kind of hard, put practice plans together because some guys are banged up. Special teams, we don't know who's going to be there because they might be getting ice or training, with the trainer and stuff like that. So it's a tough non-league. So we knew going in, expectation-wise, and with the success we've had in the past, that a lot of teams didn't want to play us coming into this year. So to fit the non-league schedule we have, plus with our league, we're kind of just trying to stay as healthy as we can and take 1 week at a time.
And with the way we do CIF playoffs now,
Yeah.
And then them be ranking them out
Yep.
in the future with the football only.
Yep.
it's going to make it even tougher each preseason, finding games, and then those games are going to be really tough.
Yeah, 'cause we don't know where we're going to be placed next year, so we might be placed in somewhere with La Salle, Mission Viejo, Edison, or Yorba Belinda, and those teams, and then those teams see teams we want to play don't want to play us because of the league we're in. So it's going to be tough going forward. So we're just, like I said, 1 week at a time, just to see who's healthy, who's not, and get them on the field.
Nice.
That's right. Last week, El Medina, they might be a non-league opponent, and they could be a league opponent. We might have to scramble.
Might have to void their contract and find
Right,
another non-league, you know.
Well, last week they had 14 points on just 2 big plays. They're only TDs of the game. What's been working defensively to prevent long drives, and what do we need to do to prevent the big play in the future?
I think it's just our pressure that we bring on defense. We live and die with the blitz. So with that mentality that we have, it's either we hold them or they get a big gain, and then we have to go back on the drawing board and make our adjustments and everything else. But from a standpoint of what El Medina did, their first big run they had with their quarterback, it was just a busted assignment to us on defense. We didn't line up correctly. Went in at halftime, showed them out how to do it. They came back on, and next week, we repped it religiously all week about that formation, and they came in second half and ran the same formation, and they got -4 yards. So it's about just doing your job. That's the whole thing that we hold the kids accountable on defense. Do their job, do your assignment.
So, Coach, defensively, Matthew Fonseca, Brady Solstrom, Rocco Burdett leading the team in tackles, along with Bruno Calderella with 3 sacks. Is this a more balanced team defensively than in years past?
It is more balanced. We have Bruno is actually our defensive end last year, leading sack, for the team. And then this year now we tried him week 3 at linebacker, and he's a difference maker. So with Fonseca doing stuff on the defensive end, along with Caden Hollenbeck and stuff like that, so we're able to find some pieces and move guys around to be more athletic on defense. So Rocco's doing a great job being the quarterback of the defense at the mic, and Brady's now back at safety. He was at linebacker the first 2 games and kind of uncomfortable, and we moved him back to safety where he had 3 PBUs. So it's just finding the pieces and molding them. That's the whole thing about non-league, is finding out what we can place kids and do what we need to do with them, and then see what works, and then go into league with the game plan.
All right, how about on the offensive side? Aiden Houston's had the ball in his hands a ton so far this season. I think 50 rushes in 3 games. He's thrown the ball 101 times already. But the rest of the offense seems extremely balanced, kind of like the defense. And you take away Monteleone and Morel. We've had guys like Jake Portanev and Michael Hubbard kind of step up. Where do we see the offensive side headed?
We'll still see those guys being key contributors. Last year I think they only had to combine each 1 reception each coming into the season. So for them to be playing outside their potential and raising their level of competition is great to see offensively. He's a special kid. We know what he can do, and he gets the ball, he can make it. Pockets collapsing, he's gone. So he's a special kid to have, and glad he's with us. And his leadership also helps out with offense and everything else. Jesse's coming back from his collarbone, so he should get more touches at the running back position. Destin's kind of banged up, so he'll be gone for a little bit. So it's, again, finding those pieces and tuning in those things. And those guys are just making plays when they need to make plays, and that's just helping out our offense, moving the chains and scoring.
So this week we take on Lawndale. Lawndale forfeited their first game. Not we know why or what happened in that.
Might have been a hurricane.
Might have been hurricane. Yeah.
So
we got a forfeit there. So they've only played 1 game so far this season. Probably makes it a little hard to scout them. They did beat San Pedro 14-13 in that game. How much is it of an advantage is it for us to have played 3 games to their 1, even though maybe we don't get as much scouting done?
It's an advantage because you have more game reps than that. They only had about 40 offensively reps. They had all game last against San Pedro. So they're coming in probably more new to the situation where we're kind of used to being able to play and make adjustments and do things. They're very fast. They have tough running back and a junior in Deuce Winston. Guy was I think 2,000-yard rusher last year, and so he has some speed. They have an offensive and defensive tackle. Big boy going to Colorado State in Tejon Townsend. So they got their playmakers, and they're big, they're fast, and they're physical. Lawndale always has speed, so we just got to be ready for it and game plan for it.
Well, you kind of took the next question there, Crooksy.
Sorry.
What should we expect to see from Lawndale on both sides of the ball? But they got a big guy. They got a great running back. They're fast. How's it going to shake out tomorrow night?
It's about just doing our role, and making sure we contain their running back, and then blocking their big guy, Townsend, coming in from a defensive line perspective, and just making plays all day.
All right.
Guys rising to the potential of what they should be doing.
Hey, thanks to Coach Crooks for being here this week. Make sure you get out to the game, watch them, check them out, support them. We got home game again this week. Thanks to our sponsors, Subs and Grubs and Coach's Corner. Make sure to get out to those two before and after the game and support them. Great food, great people. So show them some support by getting out to their business and buying some good stuff. So thanks again for watching. We will see you all again next week.